Under laws operating in most Gulf countries, Western-owned multinational construction companies form partnerships with local companies. Ownership is split 51% to 49% in favour of the local companies. Are the major multinational construction companies also involved in the practice of passing the costs of flights and visas on to workers? According to the agent we secretly filmed in Dubai, all companies have workers who have paid on their sites. This worker, employed by a major international company, explained the process.
The agent told he would send us if we give him $1,600 US. The agent arranged our visa and flights, and within 2 months we were here.
This worker and his roommates told Al Jazeera they were unaware that the charge was illegal. They were brought to the Gulf by AMBE, one of the largest manpower companies importing labour to the region.
The agent's name is Ambiwala. He is from Chandigarh. He has a big office there where there are 15 to 20 people working. He's a powerful and well-known man.
The company is based in India. Were the workers we spoke to an isolated case? We sent an undercover reporter to the recruiters' offices in India to find out. This agent confirmed that $1,600 US or 65,000 Indian rupees was the standard charge for anyone hoping to secure a job in the Gulf.
You will pay us $1,600 US here.
His company is a major supplier of labour for a host of multinational companies, including some of the biggest names in Gulf construction.
The Western construction companies that we have talked to agree that their recruitment process is unfair and puts a heavy financial burden on their workers. Yet they say this is customary and the root of the problem is in the sending countries. Yet the very same countries are the ones that are going to the subcontinent, hiring recruiters and bringing thousands and hundreds of thousands of workers.
Al Jazeera has passed our evidence against this recruiter to the Indian government. The standard of their facilities and accommodation at the labour camps is a common concern for the construction workers and those seeking to protect them from abuse.
People shepherded into the bazaars in the mornings and then dropped at places, and then they don't have facilities, even bathroom facilities, toilet facilities, nothing, work there, eat at the, there's no place for them to eat. If you read the people in the road work, they just get their food and by the side of the road they just eat it and water from the tap. This kind of thing I see every day.
We don't have food, water, no electricity inside the accommodation. We are living a terrible life here.
We are all in the same situation. We must work so that we can provide for our families back home. My family want me to come back. Here we labor all day under the hot sun.
Working in this very, very high temperature, sometimes going up to 45, 50. Then industrial accidents. Now those things are not being looked at by certain employers.
Deaths in the workplace remain an unaddressed issue throughout the region. Early this year, at a major site in Doha, Qatar, this wall collapsed, killing 4 workers. Accidents of this type are frequent, but the absence of any public records makes establishing the number of injuries and fatalities at construction sites impossible.
Maybe the government is trying to tell them, do it properly, but the employers don't look at it that way. It's for them, it's grabbing off a little amount of money from these people, and they don't pay them well. Whatever development that has taken place is really the sweat and the blood of the people who have been working for it. So that aspect has not been looked into in a kind of a humane way. These are human beings, and even to animals, you don't treat like that.
Companies are very much implicated in the ongoing abuses because they tolerate them. They usually may shrug them off by saying that we are not directly responsible and our subcontractors are. But that is no excuse for allowing their businesses operate in this environment.
But governments in the region claim that they are taking action against companies that break existing labour law.
The sum of fines paid for companies for renewal of labor IDs, forcing laborers to work in the middle of the day during summer and providing unsuitable accommodation totaled $110 million in 2006 alone. And you are coming to me saying this country doesn't follow the labor laws? You are completely wrong.
And the companies who employ the workers also claim to have made improvements to accommodation.
The current housing in Dubai is a model for labor housing in the region. This is better than the laborers' housing back at their home countries.
Mr. Belhassa invited us to inspect one of the company's model camps at Sonipur, the biggest labour complex in the Gulf.
This is a clinic. This is operating round the clock for all the employees who are suffering, who's having a problem. This is we have kitchen. He's making Indian chapatis for his dinner. This is a very tasty food he likes. This is a normal room. People stay here with the sharing with other colleagues. They have nearly 4-5 occupancies. Usually depend upon the capacity of the room.
These workers might not look it, but they are the lucky ones. Model camps remain very much the exception rather than the rule in the Gulf.
Model labor camps right now really are not representative of the entire labor camp system. Some of them can be quite decrepit and in completely dysfunctional state, and some of them are just barely functional.
However, Al Jazeera visited a number of other camps at the Sonipur complex. This giant labour camp holds over 100,000 workers and is the biggest in the Gulf. In India, Sonipur means city of gold. Given the squalid conditions and chronic overcrowding, this name couldn't be more misleading.
Okay. Hello.
We found a former construction worker who, at considerable risk to himself, took us to another camp at the Sonipur complex. Again, he requested that we protect his identity as he was fearful of being deported.
This is the accommodation of a company. You can go and you can have a look. One room, 6 people are staying. It's a room, it's just 10 feet by 10 feet room. We have kitchen inside this building. They are cooking in hot conditions. There's no proper ventilation. There's no proper sanitary, no proper bathroom, toilets, even no water sometimes. They're treated like dogs, like donkeys, you know. They have not well paid. They have not been provided good accommodation. They have not been given proper care.
This location is only a few hundred meters from the model camp we had been given a tour of. Here, conditions were very different.
If we got a better room than this one, it would be great. But that depends on the company and their decision. We must accept.
There are slowly signs of change emerging. Over the last 12 months, all Gulf countries, to varying degrees, have amended labour laws to better protect workers' rights. The issues have generated more press attention and public debate. But critics of the situation of the workers believe this progress is insufficient.
First, to stop withholding passports from their employers. Secondly, improve the working conditions and the living conditions of their workers. They are responsible for providing them housing and living quarters. And thirdly, they could work to change the recruitment process that they go through for bringing workers and make sure that every worker that comes to be working for them has not paid an upfront fee. They could do those immediately.
And those who deal with the grievances of abused workers on a daily basis argue that the sending Asian countries should do more to protect the human rights of their nationals.
So maybe there are areas where government should get together. The governments, I even tell my government, Sri Lanka government, get together with the other labor sending countries and have certain conventions in the ILO, UN and human rights organizations to look after these people and tell the host governments, receiving governments, that they are human beings, and they should be treated fairly.
But those who have managed to find a way out of the camps believe that while the reality of the labourers' lives remains hidden, nothing will change.
There are many people who might have got power, who might have got money. They can change these things. But if they are not shown, they are not aware of these things, nobody will start. Somebody has to start these things.